it's not really the coronavirus itself that's hitting the economy. It's because we closed the economy down, and that's why a lot of the companies in the stock market are not at 100% capacity in terms of their earning. If you buy them when all of the fear is out, when there's a vaccine, there's a cure, you'll buy them for sure at a higher price. If you
Right.
while there's all the fear, you'll buy them at a cheaper price. So the trade-off is you buy when there's a fear, pero you have to wait kasi you don't know how long will this volatility be, how long is the uncertainty be. Or you wait until everything is okay, at least wala na yung risk that uh, they might lose more money, etc. But you will buy it definitely at a higher price. So you have to choose. There's no perfect scenario. There will always be one na may negative side to it. In this video, we have James Fernando. He's an e-commerce operator. He's the founder of Shirtly, and he's also a stock market investor. Before I give him the mic, because he's gonna ask me a lot of questions. He's been investing
A
for
lot.
over 2 years already. He's the guy who's gonna make this. So for all of you who've been asking about a cap and shirts, it's him who's gonna make it possible. So if ganda yung shirts, it's because of him. If hindi nyo gusto, it's also because of him. Okay. By the way, this is a 2-part video series. On this video, he's gonna grill me with a lot of questions about the stock market. On the second video, which will be in my other channel, Marvin Germo Podcast, we're gonna talk about his entrepreneurial journey and how he became super rich by being an e-commerce operator.
Work from home is becoming the new normal now. And I think that even if the ECQ is lifted, I think it's gonna continue for the next months for sure. And my one of the things that I'm concerned about is companies like, for example, Double Dragon. If this happens, like if work from home becomes the new norm, do you think they will be affected in the long run, not only in the short run?
Number one, we have to look at it from different perspectives. Work from home will work for some people. Work from home won't work for a larger majority. The reason why I say that is basically this. People are seeing it already.
Right.
Businesses are seeing it already that it's efficient. People don't have to be stuck in 2 to 3 hours of traffic, meaning because of work from home, they can actually work longer, in essence.
Right.
So those are the advantages of it. But this
Right.
is what I got from Miko Baranda of Lichu Properties Consulting. He said something very, very important. Not all people live in houses that's very conducive for work from home. So some people also that, for example, summer ngayon, mainit, not all of them would want to spend on aircon. So it would be not as easy. Then some of them also,
Right.
a lot of people living in their house that the concentration might not be there. So the reason why I say it will be effective for some, for people who sila lang talaga yung nandun or they have their own private space where they can work, it will be very, very effective. And for some people that can't actually do it kasi madami sila.
Right.
Or the cost of other items, you need to have very, very fast Wi-Fi. If the company won't subsidize that, or you need also a workstation, or you need air conditioning that will be running for 8 hours or whatever time you're working, mainit where they are, and it might also affect
Right.
the talking about property. If you look at it now, we have business spaces that will most likely, some of them will lessen their rent kasi they will also see that teka muna, mas makakatipid kami dito since the economy is also affected. We'll try to find ways on how we can cut our costs and rent.
Right.
Part of it. But you have to also consider something. Because of social distancing, what's gonna happen in offices is that 100 people can fit that place, but because they have to apply social distancing, it might be 50 people na lang. So that means they may also need a large space for it. So that's what's happening from this pandemic. Now, there will be winners and there will be losers also. So with that, when they start to pivot and when they start to make this the new normal, some companies that are renting may actually need more space also because of that. And if you're talking about double
Right.
concentration, if your biggest concern lang is Double Dragon, no, a big chunk of Double Dragon is in the MOA area. I think the big concern for that is
Correct.
more Pogo. Because a big chunk of the people renting their space are highly connected to Pogo. So I will be concerned about the future of Pogo in the Philippines and if they actually stay. Because if they actually stay, then Double Dragon would have a lot of tenants. And if they implement social distancing pa, that means that even for those Pogos that are using Double Dragon properties, they would actually need more space kasi dikit-dikit eh. That's I think one of the
Right.
things that applies to all the other property developers that have office spaces from DM Wenceslao also in the MOA area, Ayala, SM. SM has a big chunk of BPOs also in the MOA area, and to the other property developers from Mega World, Ayala Land, Robin Hassan, etc. There will be some changes, but it does not mean those property developers will be hit that way. I think a bigger concern on how they will be hit is since there might be some businesses that are closing because of this pandemic, some of them won't be able to pay rent. And since there's a slowdown in the economy, there will be lesser businesses that will expand, lesser expansion, lesser office space. So I think that's a bigger concern for the short term than work from home.
The take on having bigger spaces, pagdating ng GCQ, does that mean possible na mas maging bullish yung companies na yun?
We don't know yet, no? Pero yung GCQ or whatever term they do it to relax the lockdown, that will just be naman for the next few months. What we have to look for is what they will be moving forward. Kasi everyone's already expecting 2020 not to be a year of profitability for companies. And a lot of listed companies have already slashed their capex already to be able to have liquidity, to be able to have cash. So whatever happens when they ease down the lockdown restrictions for the year or the next few months, ano na yan, people that's just to salvage whatever they can for the year. Pero no one is expecting a lot of these companies to make money this year. Some may have reduced earnings, some will be flat, some may even lose money pa. And I'm not even talking about the SMEs, I'm talking about the listed companies. I'll give you an example. SM Prime waived 4 billion of rent. Ayala waived 2 billion of rent. So that's a large amount of money, and the longer the lockdown will be, it actually means that they may have to waive rent for malls again, and the longer it is, the smaller their revenue will be.
I think in one of your videos that I watched also, you mentioned that anything that makes people congregate will most likely the last to open. In terms of investing in the market in the long run, at the moment, does it make more sense to invest in them now or later on pa in the year?
If you buy them when all of the fear is out, when there's a vaccine, there's a cure, you'll buy them for sure at a higher price. If
Right.
While there's all the fear, you'll buy them at a cheaper price. So the trade-off is you buy when there's a fear, pero you have to wait kasi you don't know how long will this volatility be, how long is the uncertainty be. Or you wait until everything is okay, at least wala na yung risk that they might lose more money, etc. But you will buy it definitely at a higher price. So you have to choose. There's no perfect scenario. There will always be one na may negative side to it. Ganun siya lagi. The choice will always be investor on what parameters they should put to make it satisfy their buy signal. So, for example, if your parameter to buy is mura siya, and then you think that 3 years from now they will recover and the growth will be back there, then it makes sense to buy. If your trigger to buy is the dividends, and because it dropped and then the dividend yield is already attractive for you, then it becomes another buy opportunity. If your trigger to buy is the growth is consistent in earnings and then you see this year hindi siya maganda, then it might be better to wait off also. It's not about what company to buy, it's more of ano yung rules mo before buying it. So ganun din siya. Your business is in your business is insured in caps like this. Meron kang qualifications of what constitutes a good t-shirt. quality. Ganun. So, ganun din dapat sa stock market. What's your
Right.
constitute? What's a good stock to buy? So, the same checklist that people put in their businesses is the same checklist that they should put in the stocks that they're buying.
I think one of the things that heating up is fintech. Do you think that this already reflects in the current state of the stocks ng banks?
One of the first ones that is very, very big in this, even before the banks, was GCash. It's not even a bank. It's pushed by Globe. They're one of the, for me, they're way ahead compared to all of the banks because you can pay via QR code. Sa banks, you can't do that yet, meaning you don't need to have cash anymore to be able to pay. So before we look at what could be, what banks can do is you can transfer money, you can pay via QR, you can pay via QR code, you can transfer, you can do this, you can accept payments. But yung physical na wala ka ng dalang wallet to be able to transact, I think GCash and PayMaya are way ahead in it. So if you're looking at companies or position in that, I'll look at Globe and PLDT first because they have been way ahead in it. So if you also want to look at who is ahead in listed companies, the bank related, I think Union Bank is one of the in terms of the first who pivoted. They even have a Bitcoin ATM already. But in terms of digital transactions, a lot of the banks have already disclosed this, that the online transactions the past month have increased because lahat ng mga tao mag-transact online, napilitan sila. So this coronavirus issue has forced everyone to go online. Yung mga tao dati na ayaw makipag-usap via online, they want face-to-face. They have no choice. They have to pivot and they have to adapt. So it's not just fintech. It's anything that can be done on top of this. That's what will win. So e-commerce, groceries, caps, shirts, everything that could be done online, or not just sold online, anything that can be streamed online will do very, very well. So look at who are the conglomerates that are also connected to e-commerce, the Ayalas, the Kokongways. Who are those? Or another way to look at it, the logistics companies, because for you to deliver this, you need there's a large logistics hub connected to it, either your last mile, first mile, regardless of what it is. So you can segment it where you want to specialize and how you would want to invest in it. Anything that's internet driven can be either logistics, either the ones that develop the apps, or either the ones that stream or sell on top of this, or like what you said, the digital companies that transact the money inside of it as well. So anything digital will do very, very well. Too bad lang sa Philippines, there's not much tech startups that are listed. So the best way for you to be able to take advantage is to realize that all of this, they need data or they need broadband, which Globe and PLDT will make a lot of money from.
So I think the steep decline of the PSEI happened, I think, in March 19. In the Philippines, when we're already most likely in the GCQ, it said in the coming months na medyo okay na, medyo settled down na. And there's another wave. Do you think it can drop again like that? Ganun ka drastic?
The drop naman wasn't because of the coronavirus. The drop was because of the lockdown. Because the economic impact of the lockdown was what investors was what spooked investors. So it's not really the coronavirus itself that's hitting the economy. It's because we closed the economy down, and that's why a lot of the companies in the stock market are not at 100% capacity in terms of their earning. That's why a lot of people sold the stocks. That's why when you hear quotes that it's not the coronavirus that's going to destroy the economy, it's the fear of the coronavirus that's going to destroy the economy because of what we're seeing. So if there's a second wave and then we lock down again, that's going to be the problem. And that's what people need to watch out for. That if they open the economy too soon and then we can't contain the virus, it might be a big It's hard to decide because if you open it too soon and then you're not yet sure what will happen, there might be a second wave and we might lock down again, which will be more damaging to the economy. But if you open it too late naman, mas madaming mga small businesses yung masisira, and then unemployment will rise, and then that's even also so bad. So it's a hard situation to be able to I actually don't know what's the best solution for it. I think the best way for it to happen is for the vaccine to come out. But I posted another video on that. I interviewed someone from Harvard Medicine who's making the vaccine. They said 9 months pa to the very least for the vaccine to happen. So, kasi it's a testing that makes it longer. But one of the things that triggered it also, kaya bumagsak siya to 4,000, was they closed the PSE for 2 days. And while that was happening, the US market was dropping a lot din. So, yung taong magbibenta on this day, hindi nakabenta. Yung taong magbibenta on this day, hindi nakabenta. Then, nag-open dito. So, selling for this on this 3 days na ipon. That's why bumagsak na ganun kalaki also. I said this in so many videos also that yung drop na nangyari nung March was steeper than the drop that happened in 2008 also. So it was a one-of-a-kind drop.
During the GCQ, in General Community Quarantine, which I think it's safe to say na it will be implemented in the coming months, most likely until 2021. What are the services na hindi na ma-offer outside that can be offered at their homes?
Madaming mga services that are contact related that I don't know how will they operate. Kunyari, spa. All of these things that have physical contact, even barber shops nga kasi mamasayan yung buhok, nakadikit yung aahitan ka. So there will be certain businesses that they may need to change it. That's why I think it was a good idea for people already to start buying their own razors kasi we don't know yet how will those businesses operate, the ones that have very, very close physical contact. So I don't know, but what I do know is anything that will cause people to have lesser contact, anything that will cause people to order and just stay at home, anything that will protect people, kaya mga vitamins, medicines, and the companies that are connected to that will do well. Anything that's connected to the basic essentials will do very, very well. Anything that's connected to the internet and data will do very, very well.
One of the things kasi sa GCQ, yung sa guideline that is already being posted. I mean, yung leisure services. I'm not sure if they're not gonna be allowed to operate. Ano kaya yung pwede nilang gawin to bounce back?
One of the things that they can do right now is they can pre-sell or they can sell GCs.
Right.
Automatic, it gives them revenue pero for a future date pa pwede gamitin. So at least that gives them sales already na may pumapasok for them until the time that people can actually go. Pero I don't think it's the hotels that will be last. The ones that will be last most likely are the ones where people mass congregate. So expos, weddings, concerts, church gatherings, yun yung mas kasi you have a lot of people in large space Pero if you're a resort naman, it's not, sometimes it's isolated naman Pero the thing about that is until may vaccine, people won't go out there's a fear na yung tinulugan mong hotel, what if natulog doon may coronavirus prior to you. So it's that fear that will cause people not also to go out until there's a vaccine or until there's a cure also. So one thing that they can do is they can try to, whatever industry there is, they can try to get pre-sales, anything that they can get revenue from, that parang credit siguro, or they can get a really, really cheap, they can give a really, really cheap sale so that get it now until there's a coronavirus, because after the virus is over, we go back to our normal prices. I think that's the best that they can give, so at least there's still money coming in to be able to pay some of their bills. I hope that you guys got a lot from this also. If there are some questions that you have, please put them on the comment section as well, and then we're gonna see how we can answer them or create more videos on top of the other videos that you wanted, or on top of the questions that you want. So there, thank you James Fernando for this first part. On the second video, abangan nyo siya maybe a few days, or I don't know how long is the gap now, but he will be in my second channel, Marvin Germo Podcast, where we will explore how he started, how he ventured into business. As what I said at the start, this one, he did this. Comment below if you actually like this, and we'll see if we can produce it already. Pero siya to. Again, kung hindi nyo nagustuhan, siya yung may kasalanan. But anyway, second video, we're gonna talk about his business, his story, how he became an entrepreneur. So thank you so much, James, for joining us here. And to everyone watching, I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.